What's up, guys? Today I want to talk to you guys about one event that happened on my vacation. So basically, I went on a cruise for about a week to a week and a half. And on the cruise, we pretty much sailed to Bermuda and back. And so there's a lot of stories I could tell on this cruise, and a lot of stories in the past that relate. But today I just want to talk about this. Now, there have been lots of instances in the past where I've had the same sort of feeling. I'd like to call it infatuation at first sight. Why not love at first sight? Because it's not love at first sight. And looking back, it's pretty obvious it's not. And the biggest thing from all my experiences in the past is that I barely know the girl, which is why I'm pretty sure it's not love at first sight. Most of the time I barely know her personality, or I have never met this person in real life. So it's either a celebrity or someone, I don't know. And so maybe you guys can relate, whether you're a girl or a guy. I feel like this happens when you are in a place of scarcity. And for me, that has been quite a few times in the past. And for some reason, it's always hits when I go on vacation in the summer. Not always, but sometimes. And so if you have a very scarcity rich pool, that's kind of like a paradox. But if you don't have a lot of girls or guys in your life, depending on if you're a girl or guy yourself and what you're interested in, but if you don't have a lot, then this is probably something that might have happened to you. Basically, you think you have this sort of heartburn, like not exactly a physiological pain, nothing you can feel physically, but it's an emotional sort of pain, like I'm leaving this person and I'm never going to see them again, and I feel so bad. And it usually happens when you are leaving the area, whether it's because your vacation is coming to an end, or maybe just because you realize that you'll probably never meet this celebrity. And so I'm going to do a whole other video one day on all the stories I've had with all the celebrities and all the crushes where I've had this sort of infatuation at first sight. And looking back, I've realized how pathetic it is, and yet it still happens, and I think it might just be due to my scarcity. I don't know. The most recent one happened less than a few days ago. And that's saying something, because I've been on this journey of self-improvement for quite a while, and the few times before that, I've recognized this infatuation at first sight. It's a play on the phrase love at first sight, because I've realized that that's not really a real thing, because if you just see someone, you're judging everything based on appearance, and you're not really taking into account personality. You're taking into account what you assume their personality is, and that's a very precarious thing, because they can be completely different from what they seem, or you are assuming way too much, or just judging way too much before you actually know a person. I mean, that could be a face full of makeup, and she could look completely different with her makeup off. I mean, you don't know. So through the years, I've realized that love at first sight isn't a real thing, at least as far as I can tell. Although, probably when I first experienced this infatuation at first sight, that's probably what I called it, love at first sight. And so I've been able to recognize and stamp this out and realize, okay, this is not good. You don't know the girl. You're just assuming too much. Stop acting like the world will end once you leave this girl. I mean, you barely talk to her. And then I, at least for the most part, very quickly convinced myself to move on because it's impractical. But let me just tell you the quick story of, for some reason, it popping up again. So, I'm on a cruise. I would say it's like the first day, first morning, or second day, first morning. Probably first day, first morning. For once, I woke up early, and I went to play, they have like an itinerary which lists cruise events you can go to throughout the day. So I went to this Wii tournament. Boom! Turns out there's only 3 other people there, and they're awarding prizes for the first 3. So gold, silver, bronze medals. And then, if you must know, I got 4th place in the competition, long story short, and I didn't get a medal. I know. For only 4 people show up on a boat of thousands and me to lose out. I mean, I don't know what to say, but I will say this, the first place person, he got like a strike like 9 times in a row. It was Wii bowling, okay? But let's not get off track here. So the employee who was manning the station, I mean, this was an adult event, okay? Adult people came to it. They were kind of nerdy too, but hey. And she was an elderly girl. I wouldn't say she's like old, but she's like middle aged. I would say late 20s, possibly early 30s. I'm not sure. And I'm 20. And I don't know what it is, but just having like role models who are from England, or just listening to a lot of inspirational people just on YouTube and stuff with English accents. It really interested me when she started speaking, and she had a very distinct English accent. And so I was kind of, grouchy in the morning and stuff. So I just sat in the back there, just barely contributing. And it was a very tough seating thing. But she was doing her own thing. She had her brown hair up in a bun, and she had her cruise uniform on, and it was just a very everyone, she was like she was obviously just doing the job. She had probably been hardened to this job for quite a few years, so she was probably pretty bored of it, and she didn't really care much. So she didn't really engage too much in conversation or anything, but she would talk back if we asked her some questions and stuff. And that's the first time I saw this girl. And for the most part, I didn't really talk much. It was just a hard seating arrangement for me to talk. Basically, you have the bar on the left with like stools, and then you have like the TV, which we were playing Wii on, next to the bar up front. And so we had this very tight little aisle, and yeah, it was a very bad position for me, but the only position I could take since everyone had taken seats in front. So she was pretty much in front of me and talking, and pretty much if I really wanted to talk to her, I would have to like shout and make it obvious with my body language. And so it was just a very bad situation, especially because I came in exceptionally sort of quiet and stuff. And so she was looking forward, not even expecting me to talk. And I didn't really say much. I tried to engage in conversation, but it was very hard, especially with my personality. I believe I asked her one question, like about her, where she was from, and then I talked about knowing people from London and stuff. And the thing was, I guess I said it so quietly that she didn't hear, and then someone had to tap her on the shoulder and say it again. And I don't know, it was just a bad scene. I didn't want to keep asking questions or talking, because she didn't really continue on after I talked about knowing people from Central London, and I mean, I could have asked her more questions about her, but I just didn't want to keep having that dynamic where I was speaking quietly and she wasn't really hearing me, and then I have to repeat myself, and I look like this guy who's desperate and stuff. And so I didn't really talk much, and that's the first time I saw her. And then throughout the cruise, I don't know what it was, but I guess I realized that she was pretty young. I would say mid to late 20s, and I'm 20 myself. So I'm like, okay, she's pretty young, and then when she let her hair down, I realized that she's actually a very good-looking girl, and I occasionally saw her sporadically throughout the week on the cruise. Not much at all. Why? Because I mean the events she was hosting were boring. I didn't really want to stop and do the event, and she was busy. I mean, she had sometimes the events attracted dozens of old people. I mean, there was bingo, trivia, stuff like that. So she had her hands full. And so, yeah, I saw her a few more times, and it was just, I don't know what it was. She was radiant, and she was just enjoying life. She was enjoying life. She was attractive, and she was just happy and enjoying life. Here she was working this very ordinary job, and at the same time, despite me being on the other spectrum, studying at a university looking for a higher degree, I had a lot of respect for her because I knew what the type of hours these people put in, and how I realized, I saw how she worked pretty much from very early morning until nighttime, going from event to event to event. And it was just, I don't know, it was something quite vibrant about her. And I guess it's just hard-working people I really respect. And she was one of those people. I know that the event wasn't that hard. I mean, a lot of the times she was just like sitting there and hosting it, or barely talking, but still, it was something about her. And so the days went by, and I barely saw her that much. The times I did see her, one event really stuck out, which was this disco thing. The whole, like, a bunch of employees dressed up in 70s attire, and they pretty much performed and got the crowd going at this sort of almost light show / nightclub sort of area on our cruise. And I was just completely out of place, but I sat there watching, and she was just there entertaining a crowd, hosting it, enjoying life, and just taking charge and looking great while doing it, and doing all these dance moves. And I'm just like, wow, that's really great. And so yeah, I wanted to talk to her, but I did not. And that is, I guess, when the infatuation set in. And so here comes the loserish part. A couple of days later, she does this. I see her doing another event downstairs, and then she runs. When it finishes, I see her run straight to the event I was going to, and it was like 11 p.m. and I'm sure she woke up very early to start hosting events, so she probably worked pretty hard. And so now she's doing this sort of it's like a cardio event. They're playing like upbeat modern hip hop music, and it's pretty much like a dance exercise sort of thing at late at night. And I'm going to this thing, and she's just doing her thing. She had already like changed in an instant from her like dress get up to a sort of fitness get up, and she looked great in her like what do you call those things, yoga pants and stuff like that. And she was like on point with her dancing. And I'm just like, yeah, this girl is hardworking and she knows what she's doing. And after the event, I don't know. There's other girls more towards my age range, like the college girls and stuff like that. And I was thinking about talking to them and stuff and grabbing them off the dance floor, but again, I chickened out. Okay, I chickened out, and I don't know what it was. They were with their family and they were with their friends, so it's very hard to approach them. And then I'm just like thinking after this, like, because this event took place on the upper deck where there's no roof, and it was next to the pool and next to the bar. Basically, there's this wide open area between the pool and an open bar where they were having this sort of cardio exercise thing. And so the whole thing finished, and everyone, all the tourists and stuff, and the people on the cruise went their separate ways. And some of them stayed, and her included, with the other employee who led the cardio exercise. They all split up into separate groups, and I saw her talking to another brunette girl who wasn't as attractive. I didn't know who she was, and they're just she somehow had a drink in her hand, and I just thought it'd be nice to at least talk to her. And I don't know, it was tough. It took me a good deal of time to work up the courage, and honestly, I had to tell myself, you're just gonna go in, say it, and then leave immediately. And that was the only thing that could have gotten me to approach. It was that bad. I guess it was just so that I didn't want to face a possible bad reaction, and I didn't want to, I don't know, come across weird, because here I was. I looked pretty young, maybe possibly in high school, even though I am in college. And then she looked pretty old, a middle-aged girl in her late 20s. And looking back, it seemed really stupid to be so inconfident. But point is, I went up to her eventually, tapped her on the shoulder, and I said, I said hi, great job on the dance floor. And then I gave her a thumbs up, and then I said yeah, and then I walked away very quickly. And that was it. And when I was walking away, her response kind of just flickered in my mind, because I kind of looked at her before I walked away. I wasn't trying to just not even look at her and just walk away before I could register a response. And it was another positive response. She was, I guess, it's a hard expression to describe to you, but it was a positive response. She was kind of like happy, and maybe she was a little bit drunk, but she had this sort of like slightly euphoric, sort of happy face upon seeing me. And I don't know, it was just very nice smile towards me. It's hard to describe. But she was like, she was happy to see me. And yeah, that ended that. And basically, I think I saw her a couple more times. She did a lot more events. And in the daytime, she had her hair bunched up into a brunette bun, and she had her standard employee costume, which looked terrible on her. She had like these shorts that went up to her like stomach, and with a belt, and then like the standard man t-shirt, and it didn't look good on her. But at the same time, I still really liked her. I guess it was just the personality. It's hard to say. And yet, here I am, and I barely talking to her. I don't know her personality. In fact, the one time I did talk to her while playing Wii, she was pretty cold. And I guess what it was that the fact that I knew she wasn't cold because she didn't like me. It was just she was used to being cold, having hosted all these events from dusk till dawn. And I guess I should have tried more, is what I'm saying. And if she really did end up being a cold person, which I don't think so, then yeah, at least I wouldn't be here whining about the story. But moving on, what happened was I saw her again a few more times, and I don't know. I still thought she looked very beautiful, despite looking very grungy with her work uniform and her hair up in a bun. Obviously, not trying to look attractive. But again, I don't know why, but during the night activities, she let her hair down, and it was like down to her shoulders, and it looked very, very nice. Brunette hair, beautiful face, beautiful English accent, and you could tell her personality was just great. She just enjoyed life. And so it was the final day of the cruise, and I decided to go to one more event, and I was like, maybe she'll be there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those losers who just goes there, hoping her to be there. I partially did, but I also went because I liked the event. It was karaoke, okay? So it was a fun event. I didn't sing, I just wanted to watch other people sing. And just aside, they all sucked. I'm not being mean, but they were all very, very off tune, except for like 1 or 2 out of 30. And so, actually, before that event, I went to another event, and there she was at the end. And she held up a flag because they were doing this like the United Nations sort of flag event at the end. So I was watching this in the cruises theater, and then she comes out with her hair down, and she just looked very, very nice. And she was carrying her flag along with all the other hundreds of employees for the event. And then the event ended, and I left. And then I went straight to karaoke, which was on the other side of the cruise, and she was there already. And it was very clear to me that she had gone straight to this theater thing to perform, and then straight back to the next event. And so she was working pretty hard. She was doing work. And so it was the last night of the cruise, and I just saw her there, and I was just thinking to myself, dude, it's already too late. It's pointless. Asking her for a Facebook, what if she declines? It would just come across very creepy. It's just very, very strange. Just get over it, dude. Just get over it. Don't talk to her. Just enjoy this karaoke. And so I see her again, and she's just enjoying life again. And I guess this is the main thing why I keep saying she's enjoying life. There's this one time where I guess this is my memory of her enjoying life. I don't think any other time, like a lot of the other times, she was kind of like grungy, like, oh, I don't want to do this work. Well, not that badly, but I mean, point being, she was kind of cold during the Wii event. But I remember this time when these two girls, two Asian girls, they went up to sing I Will Always Love You. And when they were singing the karaoke version, they were horrible. They were completely off key. And you know the song, if you've heard the song, it's belting, like you're belting out these chords, and it's just very, very loud and stuff. And they were very, very off tune. And she was there being very nice and clapping and stuff. And then eventually, when these girls, they didn't realize how bad they were, and they're just belting out the final notes to such a high volume. She kind of just like did a very sort of like she tilted her head back and just started laughing, and it wasn't like a mean laugh or I'm better than you laugh or a jealous laugh. It was just a sort of kind of like humbling laugh. Like she didn't think she was better than any of these people, but she didn't want to offend them either. So I guess it was just her way of, enjoying the moment, because it was very funny with these girls there belting it out and not realizing how bad they were. And she was there laughing it up, but she wasn't doing it in a way for the girls to see. Like I guess she made sure the girls didn't see, and she didn't do it in a way where she was making fun of the girls. It's just a body language thing. It's hard to explain. But in that moment, I could tell that she was a humble person. So, yeah, for you girl subscribers watching, I guess body language and just personality can play a good part in any person. I mean, no one likes a good-looking girl who's a complete horrible personality. I mean, they'll say they will, but it's never for a personality, and those things never last long, relationship-wise. And so, last day, and this karaoke event lasts 1.5 hours long, if not 2.5 hours, I can't remember. It was a long event. And I don't know what it was, but I kept staring at her periodically. And I guess I wasn't sure if it was the light, but I think she was staring at me periodically. I don't think she had a crush on me or anything. We barely spoke. I guess she was potentially curious. I don't know. And that was it. The karaoke ended. And I said, well, it'd be pretty weird to just sit here creepily alone. Because I sat pretty close up front. And so I said, the best thing to do would probably just be to walk back to my dorm. And so I did. And I would look back, and I saw her, and she got off her stool because she was manning the karaoke machine. And she went her own way, and I walked away. And that was the last time I saw her. This morning was the day we woke up and we had to get off the cruise very early. And so I got off the boat, and as I was getting off the chute thing, I just kind of thought, there's billions and billions of people in this world. The chances I will see you again are probably guaranteed that I won't. But I wish you the best, and British girl, I hope you have a great life, and I'm sure you will meet a eligible bachelor for you. And if there's ever a time when you are alone or depressed or lonely, or you think that you can't attract any eligible guys, then you're completely wrong. You just are completely wrong. You definitely qualify. You just have to realize that and showcase it to the world. And so I left, and that is pretty much my loser's tale. I did overhear in the karaoke from the other employee while they were doing the karaoke on the last night that she was soon to leave this sort of cruise lifestyle. And I had already come to the conclusion that there's very little chance I'd see her again anyways if I were to somehow go on a cruise the following year or something. So that was kind of out. But it was kind of confirmed when his employee said it. And basically, what I overheard her saying was that she was going to end her cruise, her job as a sort of cruise employee in 2 weeks' time, and return to her normal job as a teacher. And so I wish her the best as a teacher. I have no idea how old she is, probably late 20s. But I don't know. She said she was from London, so I'm assuming she's teaching middle schoolers or elementary schoolers in central London or something. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, the cruise was in it started in America, so maybe she's teaching in America despite her being English. I don't know. But regardless, I'm not saying all this because I'm a stalker and I'm trying to deduce where you are, because the chances are astronomical we'll ever meet again. The point is, I wish you the best, and I'm sure you'll do a great job teaching kids. I know a lot of girls who, for some reason, their passion is to teach young kids. That's their dream job. Either that or that's just the job they want. Anyhow, I wish you the best, and I do regret not manning up and talking to you a bit more. And I don't know. At the very least, if nothing else, we could have become decent acquaintance / friends. And it would have just been cool to have sort of English girl as a friend. I mean, that is not an accent I hear a lot in real life, despite living in America for 20 years. So I wish you the best wherever you go now. I'm pretty sure right now she's on the cruise welcoming the next week's inhabitants of that ship to wherever they're going. But in 2 weeks' time, good luck in Baltimore or wherever, England, London, wherever you are going to teach kids. And so good luck on that, and I'll get over it. I've done it before, and I think in a lot of ways feeling so sad is kind of retarded, because I mean you barely you don't know the person, like you've barely interacted with the person. You don't really know this person. My conversation with the person has been less than 100 words, less than 50 words. My total conversation, my total relationship with this person. And so, that, my friends, is an example of tomfoolery. And just being hopelessly stupid and regretting it. And just, being infatuated without really knowing the person. So, I'm going to regret not taking a chance to talk to you a bit more. But you were quite busy and I was quite shy. There were probably opportunities which I missed because of my shyness. So I wish you the best, and, I will get over it, but it's, this kind of stuff always happens, and so if you actually watched this entire video, viewers, thanks. It's 30 minutes long. Wow. Thank you for your time, and like, rate, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's completely free. Subscribe for more videos. Just click the subscribe button below this YouTube video. I'll see you guys later, and brunette girl. Peace. I think I remember her name. Her name was Natalie. Not because I asked her, because I overheard. Man, I feel like a stalker. But yeah, I'm too shy. And I hope you, if she ever sees this video, I'll always remember you. And hit me up if you don't think I'm a complete loser or stalker. I'm not. But otherwise, don't worry, I will move on. It's gonna be tough, but usually this kind of thing I get over in time. So I'll see you guys later. And yes, final goals. Take more chances, I guess. Be more of a man. Approach more. Stop whining and feeling depressed and lonely. And set goals for yourself. And what's another goal? Just move on, and in the future, one day I want to have an abundant lifestyle so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen. Why? Because I will have the confidence due to my abundant lifestyle to just naturally approach without even second guessing or feeling shy about it or even considering being shy about it, because I'm just so naturally confident that by the time I see the girl, I will have automatically approached because of my confidence. And so that if any of these things ever do happen, or if a relationship doesn't work out or I get rejected, I don't feel so bad about it, and I can just brush it off my shoulder. But yeah, you would have been an awesome friend to have. Never really had a friend with a straight up English accent. Perfect accent. Perfect English accent. I still remember it. It was perfect. Anyhow, enough of this loser stuff. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Subscribe.